So this time I thought rather than talking about different techniques to retrieve, I just talk about a case. I've been able to take out almost anything and everything from within the intravascular compartment, including 44 millimeter ASD devices and whatnot. And stents, taken out stents, put them to two pieces and put them back again. But here is a situation where I was caught. I thought, let me discuss. Sometime when you get caught is good to discuss. It's not starting. Okay. So rather than getting into clinical, this patient had a significant disease in the right, which could see in both the views. Probably you cannot appreciate calcium, and now you can see the calcium there. And in fact, it was a struggle to take the IVUS catheter, and I had to put an anchor in the RV branch, sorry, conus, and then this IVUS could be delivered only with an anchor. 175 bar didn't do any task because there was sufficient room in between, and only at some place did the rota do some task. So I think I was left with treating with IVL. Such a long segment, IVL, difficult. So I took a 8 French guide extension, peripheral IVL, and peripheral IVL is 40 millimeter length, 300 pulses, so about 1500% more cost effective compared to coronary IVL. And there is this, and even I needed guide extension for post dilatation. Decent result. One can find some lacunae, but I think still decent result. And having tested calcium on the right, there was a turn of the left. Looks borderline. FFR was 0.78. Some angle at the LED takeoff. That could even be beneficial for using rotational atherectomy because of guide wire bias. But at Carina, the room looked sufficient, so I think probably rota may not do enough task here. So I thought proximal and shaft left main was okay, so I chose IVL. First IVL ruptured straight off. So probably didn't do anything. No harm. Something strange. Look at the wire. This wire looks to be getting out of the vessel. And this is a guide wire bias phenomenon. If the wire gets dug into the vessel, it compresses the intima, and that's where you, despite the fact rotational atherectomy is said to be causing differential cuts, whenever you have a guide wire bias, it cuts everything. So one should be cautious. This is a place where you can have perforations. So the wire gets dug into the carina at angle. So next IVL did some task, and I think reasonably good expansion at 10 atmosphere. After some struggle, we were able to deliver a science expedition, put it there, deploy it, and then parts. So things looked pretty straightforward, and I think case is done. Now my partner was not happy. Why? First is says lot of crenation, and second is this. So I thought, forget about crenation, we can touch that area with a balloon, and things looked good. But the partner said that since we have touched this area with a balloon, why not put a small stent there? I said, okay, your turn. So he takes his turn, starts, finds it difficult to take even a small stent there, change the trajectory of the guiding catheter, use a buddy wire, then even change the stent. Shorter stent, thinner strut, and ultimately took a guidezilla deep into the LED and finds it difficult. Does some job with the balloon, takes that small stent again, is able to get past the carina just into the LED, but now the stent is not moving. Now look at, you have a 8 French guiding, you have a guidezilla, and that is almost till the carina, and things are not working. Okay, withdraw it. So he tries to withdraw it. Now it is not getting withdrawn either. The bus is on a hilly road, one tire on the mountain, the other is ready to get into the valley. So thought, get back. Well, it is stuck, but after some time it starts moving. So looks good. And that's a time when you start breathing well and start losing the focus. Look at it, the balloon is slipping, which was not realized. And the balloon got fully slipped out and the stent is there hanging on the wire. I said, no shoes, snare it out. He goes, takes a snare over it, and he's not able to advance a snare over the stent. I'm called in, I try some manipulation, do some manipulation with the guiding, and I'm able to swallow this stent into the guiding. So now the job is straightforward. All what is required is just pass a balloon alongside, take it balloon to the tip, inflate the balloon, and pull out everything. I tried this, but this didn't work. The moment my balloon is reaching there, the stent gets out. I said, no issue, give me the snare. I took the snare, things were okay. I took the snare, advanced the snare with some manipulation, now this walks over the stent. Now the issue is to catch the stent towards the guiding tip, that means the proximal end, or towards the canina, that is the distal end. If anybody can tell me, we can start the discussion after that. Why crush it if you can take it out? But catch, no, my snare is already over the stent. I am even asking you where to catch. Catch it proximally or distally. I have all the options. Distally, okay. No, I am already into the stent. I am already into the stent with a stent and a snare over the stent which is dislodged, and I have all the options to catch proximally or distally. So this is the stent which is caught distally, and it easily pulls the stent out of the left main, and it comes out into the aorta, in fact very easily, without any issue. You see that? It's come out very easily. But to my surprise, the problem begins now. Now what is happening is, I'm trying to pull out, the heart is coming out with it. Now this is a big problem. With each pull, you find that the contraction of the heart is coming and pulling out. You see you are free in aorta, you have caught something, your wire has gotten out, but there is some more wire. If you see, there is some more wire. Sorry, I have to select the laser pointer. So wire was out, but you see that there is some wire there. That's the stent there. What is this wire? Stent. Which stent? How got it stretched? I have walked over the stent. But I have walked right in front of you with that snare over the stent. How that deployed stent which has been potted will come in the snare? Okay, let me complete. So at this juncture I thought things are not happy, let me have another guide. So I took another guiding and things looked okay. Through the second guide I thought, let me first secure the vessel. I passed the wire, took some funny course, and sure, over this funny course this balloon will not go. Then rewired it, this course looks fine. Took a balloon and did some job proximal distal with this balloon. Patient is hemodynamically stable. I am only stuck up with something which is in that fish net. Now you can see there is one bar over which you have a balloon, there is a first guiding, you have a stent which is hanging there, and then you have a wire there. So at this point, I thought counter traction with a balloon and then try to pull out. So counter traction at the previous stent with the inflated balloon and try to pull out, and with some more force, things are not coming. Then I thought, loosen the noose. Sometimes the noose is catching something which you don't want. You caught a fish which you didn't want. Loosen the noose, still I'm still feeling the contraction. And finally, I'm able to pull out, I don't know what. That, I don't know, really, I don't know what. No, it is just to tell you, I don't know. I knew what it is, but I'll discuss. So, this is how the cornea is looking like. Then took a guide extension, deep in, dilated, took another stent, deployed the stent, and did pot. Whatever we were supposed to do in the first time, the same things were done next time, except, so this is the final result. So what happened? What happened was, this is the stent. This is a stent, and that's the snare. So while trying to catch the stent or trying to engulf with the guiding catheter, one of them, I really don't know whether it was a snare which did the mischief or a guiding which did the mischief. Most likely, one of the edges of the stent got inverted. And this inverted proximal end of the stent invited a bigger loop of the snare as it is advancing to catch. And finally, it caught both, and this is what came out. And now you can look at it. It is the snare which is getting caught at the inlet at this proximal edge of the stent. Despite the fact it is trying to even advance over the dislodged stent, it is even caught at the proximal end of the deployed stent. Yeah. So I think several take-homes from this case, at least for me. First of all, better is not always better. We try to get better. Like we normally say, better is the enemy of good. Better is not always better. You must listen to your partner, fine. But listen, do whatever you want to do. Don't let the partner come to the driving seat. And surely prepare the bed, stent distally first. Take a guide extension as far as possible to deliver through a calcified or a stented segment. And if your track is tortuous, then I think it is better to take flexible guiding. My choice was wrong to take Guidezilla. In such a situation, telescope and even more malleable is Guide Plus 2 from Nipro, which goes very easy. I didn't listen to your case, so I cannot interact. Don't force your stent into the stented segment, especially if it is a freshly deployed stent. Avoid a guide catheter injury to the inlet of the left main stent. Whatever assembly you are taking in, whether it's a guiding or a snare or whatever, one should be very, very careful. And open the loop of the snare only where needed to avoid catching unnecessary fish. Because here we caught an unnecessary fish and we loaded up with a problem. Now the case is open for discussion. So before the claps end, now let me confess I did a major mistake, which I will never do, and I will like all of you not to do it. That major mistake according to me was, when I had engulfed this stent, swallowed the stent, it was a stupid idea to pass another balloon alongside this stent. I think the simpler idea was, pass a balloon on the wire on which the stent is already there, and that balloon would have easily entered into the stent. My mistake in that point was, I still don't know why did I make a mistake, but I have been doing all these things for such a long time. But here I am confessing I did some stupid mistake, and that mistake was I thought I'll pass a balloon, trap it and pull out everything. What I should have done was pass a balloon, but not alongside. Pass a balloon on the wire on which the stent is already there. Stent has already gone into with my maneuver the stent had entered into the guiding catheter. If I take that balloon over the wire, now this balloon, new balloon will enter into the guidings, will enter into the stent also. Once it has entered into the stent, inflate it. Once you inflate it, it will catch the guiding catheter. Then everything will come out. I made this mistake, but finally I think all is well that ends well. And I think that is what should have been done. So thank you for your attention.